On items that are not for local customers, I like to make a demo video, and if the customer sees anything that is not to his liking, I'd like him to point that out before the item leaves our shop. In this case, being shipped back to Carolina, North Carolina. This is for tag number 41685. And what we're looking at is a torque gauge. The item came in with tape wrapped around the pinch roller, and all of the problems that were listed were all attributed to improper torque and that tape being wrapped around one of the pinch rollers. So what we're looking at here is a torque gauge, and this is going to show us quantitatively what the torques are now. And play torque, the specification on all cassette decks by the, I think Phillips came up with the standard, is between 30 and 50 grams for play. And that's critical. If it's below 30 grams, you run the risk of the tape being eaten, which is what happened. If you run it much higher than 50 grams, you're pulling on the tape, so you're going to stretch it maybe pull it hard through the pinch roller and capstan, causing excessive wound flutter. So let's take a look at what we have here. So we're going to put it, let's rewind it all the way first. Okay, she's already rewound. All right, so let's put it in play. And if you look on the right-hand side, you can see that the red arrow is right around 40. And it's going to vary a little bit, but that's a very nice reading. Now let's go in the other direction. And the red arrow is also riding around 40. Okay, so your play torques now are perfect, right in the mid-range. Rewind, anything above 80 grams is great. So let's go to the right direction. And that is off the scale. That's like 120. And in the other direction, same thing, off the scale, 120. Okay, I'm going to pause the tape in a second or two, but let's just back the camera up. And then we're going to set up another test or two. But this is your machine, obviously, and we can get this out of Zoom. Oh, we can get this out of Zoom. I finished aligning your item, and it does have, it's not brand new performance because of the headwear, but you know, there are numerous adjustments inside that allow uh, things to be optimized. I optimized this for normal tape, and there are different performance uh, measurements from different tapes. Maxell does not perform the same as TDK or anything else. I happen to have a normal realistic tape, and that's what I've used to optimize this. All right, so what we're going to do is um, do a record gain test. And to do that, I need to turn off the lights because what we're going to do, maybe not. What we're going to do is record a sine wave, and we're going to be able to view it on this device up here. It's a low budget operation. Who can't afford a camera person? Okay. This dual trace oscilloscope. The upper display is going to be your left channel. Lower display is going to be your right. And more importantly, this may not be able to show it right now, but there's two horizontal bar graphs. The upper one on that is going to be your left, the lower one is right. And that gives me a decibel measurement. So what we're going to do is record a 400 cycle sine wave at a certain decibel level. And then we're going to play it back. And it should be, if I line this properly, within a dB, half a dB. Okay, so let's... Here we go. Okay, so what we're going to do is, this machine has a nice feature where it has a, I need to take our torque tape out. And we're going to put in the actual tape that we're going to record on. Okay. So what we're going to do, let me just put it in pause real quick. And we're going to go over here, and we're going to go here. All right. So I need to turn this volume down because it's probably distorting the microphone and you can't hear me. But we're not really into this for listening right now because you're not going to be able to hear. You're going to be able to see it much better. So let me go up here so you can see the scope. But more importantly, it's a bar graph. We're recording at what is typically line level, which is minus 7 dB, coming out of your machine. Your meters actually read minus 3 dB. And so we're recording this right now. I'm going to 0 this. Okay, so let's record like a count of 10 or whatever, and then we're going to push the rewind. And it's going to go back to that. And if I've aligned this properly, the recorded 400 cycle tone should be within a decibel or so of what we're doing right now. So let's hit rewind. Now it's going back into play, and there we go. As we used to say when I worked at a newspaper as a high school kid, just like New York, because we all wanted to be like the New York Times. Okay, so that's pretty much it. The item is pretty good, and I've optimized it for performance in the normal direction, that meaning left to right. And probably hasn't played this good in a long time. All right, so I'm going to turn this off. And put your item back together. And once it's back together, I'm going to do one more test. So right now I'm going to pause this while I reassemble it.